All right, what's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to teach you all about the differences between 24-bit, 16-bit, what a DDP is for mastering, what mastered for iTunes is, what 44.1 and 48K are, and all this crazy lingo that you're probably like, I just want to master my song. Let's jump in. So before we do this, I want to say I have a free resource for you, which is my free single release checklist. You can check that out at elevatedmusic.co and start releasing your song like a pro. It's a 6-week checklist that takes you through everything you need to do to release a song perfectly. All right, let's jump into the video. So first, let's talk about 24-bit versus 16-bit. The bit depth refers to the dynamic range of a song, meaning the lowest volume versus the highest volume and your computer's ability to map that out. So the larger the bit depth, the more volume levels you'll have in your song, thus a greater dynamic range, thus a higher quality sounding song. So 16-bit is going to be slightly less high quality than 24-bit. Can you really hear the difference? Probably not. Unless you're in like a high quality studio with great quality monitors and you transfer A/B back and forth, you probably won't hear the difference. So the main reason why we need the 24-bit or the 16-bit is for distribution purposes. The 16-bit depth is what's more common for CDs. So with CD duplication, you're going to need that 16-bit depth. For high quality masters with like Tidal and stuff, you're going to need the 24-bit, and it's confusing and annoying, but you're probably going to need both for your mastering process. Right, so what about the elusive 48K versus 44.1K? So the difference between this is the sample rate. The higher the number, the more samples per second your computer is taking to capture your audio, meaning more quality, higher sample rate. So the 44.1K, again, is standard for CD duplication and has kind of become standard in the industry, even though it's a lower quality than 48K and other higher sample rates like 96K. 48K, on the other hand, is standard for video production, meaning if your song is going to be licensed with film and music and TV, you're probably going to want to have a 48K version as well. So my recommendation is to see if your mastering engineer can do both the 48K 24-bit and the 16-bit 44.1K. I know, kind of annoying. Can't we just have one version? Apple Digital Master. Good question. So Apple came up with this whole system to try to make the music that's streamed on Apple Music and downloaded on the iTunes Store as perfect sounding as possible for their specific store and digital system. This is kind of annoying because it made a whole new standard, and because Apple is so freaking big, they kind of shifted the audio industry by creating what's known as a .AAC file. So mastering engineers can become Apple certified by reading some documentation and then calling up Apple and letting them know that they did everything right, and then they talk to a mastering digital Apple mastering specialist, and then they give them the badge and blah blah blah, and then you get a badge on iTunes saying it was mastered for Apple. To me, it sounds like a lot of hoops to jump through. The mastering engineer then charges more for you to get the Apple master so that your song can get the badge, and Apple can be like, hey, our music sounds so great on our store. Okay, I know. So you can do it if you want. You can also not do it, and I think it'll still sound pretty great. So something to think about. If you're tight on a budget, maybe skip that step with your mastering engineer, because it's just more work for everybody involved. What in the world is a DDP or a DDPi? So DDP stands for Digital Protocol Imaging. So DDP stands for Disk Description Protocol Image, which is really crazy, but it's a system that reduces the amount of errors that can happen when you're sending your music, all the song names, all the titles, and all the times, the song start and stop times, to your CD duplication company, and it reduces any errors that could happen so that when you print 1,000 CDs, you don't get them all back and they're wrong, like track orders mixed up or the start and end times are wrong or something like that. So they came up with the DDP or the DDPi as a protocol that is just a fancy term for some software that your mastering engineer will use to send you, and then you can then send that to the CD duplication companies. Do you have to do it? Not necessarily. There's even a way, I'll have a link below for you to create your own DDPs if you want to DIY it. But if you are doing CD duplication, it's probably a good idea to tell your mastering engineer that you would like the DDP if they do that. That was a lot, wasn't it? So hopefully this video was helpful in explaining a lot of the differences here with mastering lingo and all the different file codecs. Again, if you want to release your single like a pro, definitely check out my free single release checklist. The link is in the description below. It's at elevatedmusic.co, and that will help you release your song with no hiccups along the way and have everything laid out for you perfectly so you don't even have to think about it. And also, if you're in need of a producer or mix engineer, or even a mastering engineer, let me know. I would love to learn more about your project and see if we're a good fit. Again, you can reach out to me through the comments here, or you can also go to elevatedmusic.co and reach out to me through the website. All right, see y'all next week.